Good afternoon, friends. This is Willie Kersey, the Simple Georgian. Lee Kersey. Lee is my middle name. So I'll answer to whatever. I want to update y'all. I was working in the background trying to attempt to see if I could figure out how to go to the Muletown Pipe Show. And it just so happened to work out that everything just hit right. And which I went ahead and bought my ticket ahead of time so I could sort of plan. And I scheduled or reserved a car to rent because it's not that I don't trust my truck, my pickup. Number one, I was trying to save on gas, and I've got what they call a transmission shutter or torque converter shutter in it, and I know what I've got to do to fix it. I mean, it's nothing major. I've already talked to the dealership in case I decide to go to a torque converter, and I've talked to another shop that I follow real regular down in South Georgia that has told me that they could take care of it without having to put a torque converter in. So I've got two options there, and I'm going to start with the cheapest option. But as it stands, the truck wouldn't have really been all that comfortable on the trip, so I just went ahead and rented a car. And fortunately, I was able to spend time with Mr. Richard, the Dread Tiger of the Gatlin Burlier. Normally it takes me 9-10 hours, something like that, going up from Savannah through Atlanta, Chattanooga, and up into Columbia that way, just because of the traffic jams and the hassle and construction. The time around Atlanta, the time around Chattanooga. So this way, I went over up 95 over through 26 to Asheville, Asheville, North Carolina. I'm sorry. And on the way through Asheville, my GPS pinged me and told me that they had a wreck. As many of you know, they are still trying to work on I-40 going through the gorge area where Hurricane Helene hit. And so they're down to one lane each way on I-40. And my GPS pinged me and told me they had an accident over there on the outside of the gorge on the Tennessee side. So that was going to hold up traffic. So I decided, it routed me up around US 25 out of Asheville and around through the mountain and over the river and through the woods, as they say, to grandma's house. And it brought me out over there at Newport, Tennessee. And then I jumped on 40, and I ran 40 over, picked up Mr. Richard there and close by where he lives at, and we taken off, and we made it to Columbia, Tennessee about 10:30 Friday night. We went to the room and spent the night there in Columbia at the room, and got up the next morning, got ready, and neither one of us slept the best that night. My machine acted up. I didn't take my medicine the way I was supposed to, didn't eat the way I was supposed to 2 or 3 days prior to that, and that was part of my issue. And I made it through half of my breakfast and had to go get rid of that half and start over again. And I mostly finished the other half. And I taken some medicine and we went on to the show and got there a little on the early side. And they opened up for early registration, get your tags and, just whatever. And anyway, I hung around and talked to people, and people started coming in. Like I said, we got there, a little on the early side. So I think we got there a little before 9ish. And the actual show didn't open up till 11. But I got a good place for us to park. And we was able to sit down, find a good seat, talk to people. And instead of me actually going into the show at the first, when the doors open, people started piling in pretty quick after about 9ish, 9:30. And normally I try to get in on the early side right after they open the doors. And unfortunately, I did not do that this time. So, number one, I missed out on the Muletown mixture, the one that C&D blends just for Briarworks for the Muletown show. I missed out getting a tin of that. And I also missed out on getting some better pictures, which I got some pictures of. I walked through the show and got some better pictures a little bit later on, but not as good as I could have because the crowd was so big. So having said that, I wound up coming up with a better deal, I think. I've got enough tobacco, so it ain't like I probably would have liked to got a 10, but it's not like I'm really missing out because I've got plenty of tobacco. But the reason I say I come out with a better deal is, number one, I got to spend time going there and back from Sevierville, Gatlinburg area, Tennessee, with Mr. Richard. And number two, I got to meet some of the, as Piper Tom calls it, nefarious characters of legends of the YouTube community. Porch Piper Tom was one of them. I got to meet Gary, Papa Bear. I got to meet Fistful of Briar. I got to meet George Jonian Gent. I got to meet Parsimonious Piper. I got to meet Donnie from Pipe and the Poor. Who else did I get? Bobby Six Guns. I got to spend time with him. I got to spend time with Captain Burley Slice and his brother, the Pipe Hunter. And while I was out there talking to them, waiting for the line to die down, lo and behold, who was coming up the ramp, trying to be inconspicuous, but Dwayne Noel of Dry Creek Wrangler School. If you remember in a couple of past videos that I've talked about, I met him I seen him and got to meet Dr. Alan Harrelson of the Pipe Cottage back in 24, I believe it was. And but I did not get to meet Dwayne. I saw him sitting over there, him and his wife, Deanna. I saw them sitting over there with Dr. Alan Harrelson, but I did not get the chance to go over and meet them. I was taking in the show and I was talking to some others, and as it didn't really dawn on me who they were until as I was leaving the show, driving back, and then it dawned on me that that was them, because I was still kind of new to the community and still trying to learn everybody. But at any rate, I got to meet him and talk to him a little bit in person this time, and I got to meet some other people that I recognize in the pipe community. I don't think they have a YouTube channel. I'm not 100% sure. But I got to meet Mr. Kelvin Evans. He is a police officer wherever he lives at, and he was there at the show. I know him from a Facebook group, and I got to meet a couple of blender friends of mine in person. One was John Crow of SmokingCrowCreations. That's what I know of his name. I hope I got his name right. But and then I got a chance to sit down and talk to Joe Hampton Jr. of the Hampton House blends. I've got some of his blends in the past, and I remember talking to him at a previous Muletown show, but I didn't put his face together with his name this time around until after I sat down and really got to talking to him again. And he has got a website, and I will show the card. Maybe you can get that website, Hampton House Blends, that you can go to, and he's got several things. I met a new pipe maker, Sylvan Pipes. Another one I met was Wiseman Handmade. His name is Evan Wiseman. And then I met Mr. P. Rogers Pipes. I also met Nelson Pipes by Jerry. So that gives you some information that you can touch base with them guys. And of course, I met all of the other pipe makers that I knew, from past shows. But that was the new ones that I met. Give you a heads up. September the 11th and 12th will be looks like the second annual pipe show of the Indiana Pipe Club. They will be there in Gas City, Indiana at Mississinawana Pipe or Cigar Shop. And so you can put that on your calendar. I'm trying to keep y'all up to date on these shows when they happen. The next show, as you know, will be in Chicago. It'll be the 30th anniversary. It'll be April 29th, 30th through May 3rd or 4th, something like that. One of the good things that this community is so awesome. I couldn't believe how great it was. I've had fun at all these shows that I've been to, but I have been blessed with so many generous gifts this time around that I hear people talk about, people giving them gifts and stuff. It did not shock me that they would do this, but I wasn't expecting it. Mr. Richard, the Dread Tiger, he gave me some Symphony, Mac Baron. He brought that for us to smoke, and being I was not in the best of, in fact, I didn't get but one pipe in the whole weekend. But being I wasn't in the best of feeling, he left that with me. Oh, I'm going to remind y'all this. Captain Burley Slice got with Chris Morgan, and y'all know he done a YTPC Legends 2026 pipe. I got mine in Friday before I left for the show, and I was able to take it with me. A lot of the guys that was there had theirs, but I haven't smoked mine yet. This is what mine looks like. You can see some of the design in the grain there, and you can see it was engraved. Got some little nicks in there. I mean, that's what makes these pipes so great. But mine is, you can see some of the grain, maybe not. Mine is the bent apple, and when he started this, he thought it was just going to be a small amount or whatever. But anyway, it wound up taking off, and he run out of bent apples, so he went to another design. The first thing I'm going to do is start showing you some of the items that was given to me. Hampton House, Joe Hampton, gave me a sample of Sunrise, a new blend that he's got. I've got 3 or 4 of his blends. I know one of them is called Stout. It's a real stout English, and I know I got 2 or 3 others. I can't remember the names of them, but he gave me that. And y'all know Jeremiah and Scott of Idiots with Class. I got a sample of their blend. And this was something that I really did not expect. The next 2 items, I really was not expecting at all. Many of you know Gary Papa Bear. He is real fond of the Ken Byron Ventures Burley Morning Pipe. And he reached in his bag and come out, and he handed me one of these. I was really not expecting that. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that, Mr. Gary. You don't know how much that means to me. I will treasure that one. And then Tom, Porch Piper Tom, he told me to reach into the bag and start digging around. Well, somewhere along the line, they got a hold of some corn cobs from the 50s, I believe he said. And he told me to dig around, and I dug around. I found a couple. He said, no, don't just take the first one. Dig around and find something you like. Well, this is what I come up with. I got that one. And you can tell they're different years because of the stickers. And I got this one. I don't know what the difference is on the stickers. I'm going to have to research that. But I do know these were made from the 50s. I also met Mr. Dennis of the Tennessee Piper, another YouTuber, and he gave me a tamper. This is what blew me away, because I was not expecting all of this. I was talking to another guy. I don't believe he's a YouTuber, and I totally forgot his name. But he asked me if if I liked aromatics. And I told him that I've tried a few, and the ones I tried I liked. Well, he handed me, looks like probably an ounce of Cherry Light from Swabs. And this is what blew me away, because I was not expecting that at all. And I know how rare that Burley Morning pipe is getting, and I know how rare that McBaron and those corn cobs, you know, you don't just find them every day. And they was just, handed to me. And with me being on the road, I don't get to get around. I mean, I get to go to a lot of pipe shops and stuff, but there's a few things that I don't get to be around a lot. And so anyhow, also the next things I'm going to show you is, well, let me do this first. Digging around in the pipe tobacco. While I was walking around taking pictures, I passed by Justin and Nate's table of pipes, pours, and pals. And I walked by, was taking pictures, and I seen this tin on their table. And I've seen this tin before, not in real life, but I've seen it in pictures, and I had been looking for it. I've been smoking pipes and cigars now going on a little over 4 years, and I have never seen a tin of this. I got a tin of Spillman mixture, 7 full ounces of Spillman mixture. I got that from Justin. I told him, I said, hold that, I will be back. Don't, it's one of the things that once you see it, you better grab it, because if you don't, it's gone. The next thing I found, many of you know, I was trying to go to the pipe show at Gainesville at Smitty's, and I was not able to make it due to the weather per se. It wasn't that the weather was that bad. It just, I didn't want to be stuck up there with an empty truck and trailer trying to fight snow and ice. So I kind of taken a easy, quick load, got on back. That way, if something happened, I would be back around. But Rob and Dave, Dave's real big in with the pipe shop up there at Gainesville. Dave of the Pipery. And Rob owns Smitty's. So anyway, Dave had this tin, Dragon's Blend, John Ellsbury. He had this tin in his box of stuff that was on the floor in a mixed tin. And I was debating on whether to get that one or a 2015 mixture of Samuel, a special reserve blend or something of Samuel Gowith. The Spillman mixture, from what I can tell, is from 2021. It looks like it's a Burley, Oriental, and Latakia. The Dragon Blend is a spun cut mixture of golden and red Virginias with black Cavendish, hints of Burley, regular Cavendish, and bright Virginias. So that was the actual 2 tins that I bought. It's one of them things that they rare. Like I said, I've been smoking 4 years. I've never seen either one of them. Many of you know that I had several pipes that I was going to try to sell. And I carried them around in my truck for, 6-8 months, something like that. And I never did really post them, never did talk about them much. It was impulse buys on the pipes. And after I bought them and got them and started going through all of my pipes and organizing, trying to get things in a little bit better position where I could, know where everything was at, I realized that I was not really wanting those pipes. So I had those with me. And I was going to walk around the show and see if anybody wanted to buy them. And I just didn't want to deal with that. Just because of the fact that, everybody else was selling pipes. And so anyway, I went up to a couple of people, gave one man, choice, first dibs on it. And he decided that he didn't want to. So I went to the next man, and he made me an offer, and we done a good. I feel like I got a good deal. I got rid of 2 new Petersons that they were still in the box, never been smoked. I got rid of a little nose warmer Chacombe. Got rid of some little no-name brand estate pipes that had been refurbished. A new corn cob that I had 2 of those of. Like, I think it was like a MacArthur or something like that. I had 2 of them, so I got rid of 1 of those. And I think it was about 7 or 8 pipes in total. And I traded out for 2 pipes, a tobacco, and some cash. The tobacco I got was Ken Byron Ventures Jigsaw Plateau. I got a brand new Morgan Bones. I don't know what, I'm assuming that would be a bent Dublin. I'm not all up to date, and I've got designs of the pipes in pictures, but I don't know exactly what all they would be. But this has got some decent gnarly, and it is unsmoked. So I got a brand new Morgan Bones pipe. That's probably in the $50-something range. You got the Ken Byron Ventures. I think he's in the $20-30 range or something. I don't know. And then I got this Bjorn. It's BJARNE. Way I understand it is Bjorn freehand. Got smooth side there. Got a beautiful stem. And then it starts getting into some rustication. And it's got some plateau on top. This one has been refurbished. It has been smoked. So it's it's a mix of rustification and smooth. And beautiful stem on it. And it's a Bjorn. So from the way I understand it, I actually come out pretty decent on that trade. So that was my pipe haul show from the Muletown Pipe Show. And that was a little bit of information. And like I said, me and Mr. Richard left last night because he had church to take care of this morning. And so we left the show about 5-ish or so. I run him back over to where I picked him up at, and I spent the night there. And I'm glad I was able to rent this car because it gave me the opportunity to see some country that I normally would not be able to see in the big truck because of the route that I took. That area in 25, going in from Asheville over to Newport, you can run a smaller truck through there, but nothing like what I run. And so I wouldn't take that chance. And of course, it went through the area where Hurricane Helene hit, and so it's still a little damaged. They had some of the bridges closed off, where it was just one lane across. But then when I dropped Mr. Richard off last night, and I went on to the motel and spent the night, got me some good sleep, got up this morning, got a good breakfast, I decided to come down out through Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, over Gatlinburg, down through Cherokee, North Carolina, through the Smoky Mountain National Park, through Bryson City, and down through that way, and come out in Georgia over there Tallulah Falls, Toccoa, Georgia, and right there with North Carolina. You know, you go through North Carolina, then you're into Georgia, and come down that way. And of course, you can't take a big truck past Cherokee, I believe it is, through the national park, and you can't take a big truck through the Pigeon Forge area. So I got to see all of that in the car, and even though it was raining, it was a beautiful area. If I highly recommend, if you get a chance to go into Gatlinburg, take the time to come back down through Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, down into Cherokee, North Carolina, Bryson City. Take that little route and come down through there. When I was coming into Cherokee, North Carolina, I seen some wild turkey coming out the national forest. I seen some elk, which I have never seen elk in North Carolina. I've always seen the elk out west in Colorado, Wyoming area, Montana. But I actually seen some elk. There was probably eight or 10 out in the field. Right there, I mean, you could just about walk up there to them if they, didn't hurt you. But yeah, it was beautiful going through there. So, yeah, if you get the time, I did not stop and take pictures because, like I said, it was a little muggy, mist and rain, and I didn't want to, take the time to take pictures because I was trying to get back home so I could get up and go to work in the morning and be able to spend a little bit of time here at home. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to go up that way, take the time to come back down through Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and Cherokee, North Carolina, and Bryson City. It is well worth the trip. They have several areas you could pull off. They've got all kind of stuff that you can see. But anyway, I've been going on about 32, 33 minutes. So I'm going to shut it down. And I am very thankful that I was able to go to this show. Like I said, I've seen a lot of the pipe makers, a lot of the sellers that I knew. Mr. Pete and the folks there at Briarworks done another awesome job putting this together. Even though I actually think this show is getting bigger every year, to be honest, from what I'm seeing and feeling. Feels like the show just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I seen Sourdog Piper. I didn't want to forget him. So, yeah. But anyway, and I seen some more presenters and seen some more people, but those are the ones that I was able to spend a lot of time with. And of course, many of you that's on Facebook, y'all know Mr. Terry and Miss Therese Carpenter. I got to spend time with them. I did miss my couple of my friends, Mr. Mark and John from John's Pipe Journey. I kind of sort of got used to seeing them, and I miss them. But hopefully, the Lord willing, I get to see them another day and go from there. And of course, all the people that I knew from past shows. But that was the ones that the ones that I named off are the ones that I really spent time with. Before I go, let's keep Mr. Rudy Van Krusen in your prayers, or Verkrusen. Let's keep Piper X1X in your prayers. Let's keep Flat Cap Piper in your prayers. Let's keep Mr. Jim Steffi of Emerson Southern Forge in your prayers. And go from there. So yeah, I've been going about 35 minutes now. I'm going to shut it down and get in here and get a little bit of supper. I'm going to feed my son's dog. He's on midnight shift this week, or night shift, not midnight. That just reminded me. I did get one more item. Many of you know Mr. Larry Blackett of Buttons for Your Britches. I got a police officer tamper. That is a gift for my son, and I got a pocket jar from Muletown. Those two I'll give to my son. That will be his gift from me, and he's a police officer here locally. So I wanted he got a corn cob and a my Peterson St. Patrick's Day 2024 pipe. So I got him that tamper for him and another pocket jar. So anyway, I'm gonna close it down and get me something to eat, feed this puppy, get some clothes washed, get ready for work tomorrow, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a blessed week. Have a great time, and may God bless you. Thanks.